Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a juicy topic, the complicated relationship between Rasheeda and Kirk. There's a lot to unpack here, so let's get right into it. First off, let me just say I'm a bit annoyed because I originally recorded a 15-minute video on this, but the copyright police hit me left and right. It was so frustrating. After all that work, editing, reviewing, and getting it just right, they still flagged me. So here we are, doing it all over again in one take. I appreciate y'all for sticking with me through it. Let's get into the tea. Now, about Rasheeda and Kirk. People have been talking about them forever. Allegedly, Rasheeda might have been as young as 15 when she met Kirk, who was reportedly around 22 or 23 at the time. This is all hearsay, of course, but if that's true, it's a little unsettling. Either that or Rasheeda isn't being completely honest about her age. Honestly, there's been so much speculation and gossip over the years that it's hard to separate fact from fiction. What we do know is that Rasheeda and Kirk have been part of Love and Hip Hop since 2012, and their storyline has been consistent. Drama, cheating scandals, and more drama. It makes you wonder, how much of it is real and how much is just for the cameras? Personally, I'd say about 30% is real, and the other 70% is for the show. Let's be real. How many times has Kirk been caught cheating, and every time, Rasheeda takes him back? He even had an outside baby during their marriage. That's wild. I mean, how much is too much? At some point, you have to ask yourself, is this love or is it just a toxic cycle? What's interesting is how people compare Rasheeda to someone like Carly Red. Say what you want about Carly, but at least she knows when to walk away. When a man cheats on her, she's out. Rasheeda, on the other hand, keeps forgiving Kirk over and over again. It's like she's stuck in a loop. Here's the thing. If someone keeps getting away with bad behavior, they're not going to stop. If I were in Kirk's shoes, not that I'm condoning his actions, I'd probably think the same way. She's gonna forgive me anyway, so why change? It's sad but true. Now let's circle back to the rumors about Rasheeda being underage when she met Kirk. If that's true, it could explain a lot. When someone is so young and impressionable, they're more likely to form an unhealthy attachment. And if Kirk was her first serious relationship, that bond might feel unbreakable to her. But let's talk about the "I've been with them for X years" argument. People love to brag about how long they've been in a relationship, but longevity doesn't mean much if the relationship is full of lies and betrayal. If someone has been cheating on you for 20, 30, even 50 years, what's the point of staying? That's not love. That's endurance. Rasheeda is a beautiful, talented woman. She could easily find someone who treats her with respect and values her. So why is she so drawn to Kirk? He's not exactly a heartthrob. He's an okay-looking guy, but he's no Nelly, you know what I mean? There's nothing about him that screams, "I have to have him." Then there's the issue of Kirk's alleged infidelity. He's been linked to multiple women, including one who had his child. Some say he's the type to pay to play, which isn't uncommon for older men dating younger women, let's be honest. Money can be a big factor in these relationships, and if Kirk was financially supporting Rasheeda early on, it might explain why she feels so tied to him. Of course, having kids together complicates things. It's not easy to walk away when you have a family and shared businesses, but at some point, you have to teach people how to treat you. By constantly forgiving Kirk, Rasheeda is essentially saying, it's okay to disrespect me. And what about the women Kirk has been involved with? Some of them claim he can't leave them alone even when they're not interested in him anymore. One woman even said Kirk still offers her money for certain favors. That's messy, to say the least. Here's another thing. Kirk has the audacity to blame the women he cheats with, saying things like, "You knew I was married." Excuse me, sir, but you knew you were married. Let's not shift the blame. Sure, these women shouldn't be involved with a married man, but the real responsibility lies with Kirk. He's the one who made vows to Rasheeda, not them. To be fair, some people might argue that Rasheeda should be mad at the women too, but I don't think that's fair. If a man is committed to you, it's his job to stay faithful. If he cheats, that's on him. At the end of the day, it's hard to say whether Rasheeda and Kirk's drama is real or just for TV. Either way, it's a lot to handle. I just hope Rasheeda knows her worth. She deserves better than this constant cycle of heartbreak. Oh, what do y'all think? Is this all for the cameras? Or is there some truth to their story? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. See y'all in the next video. Before we get started, I want to thank y'all for sticking with me. I worked so hard on the first version of this video, but copyright claims came for me left and right. I tried everything, editing, re-recording, even changing the voice, but nothing worked. So here we are, doing it all over again. Let's get into it. Now, Rasheeda and Kirk's relationship has been in the spotlight for years, especially thanks to Love and Hip Hop. People have been debating whether their drama is real or just for the cameras. Personally, I think a lot of it is for views because they've been milking the same storyline for so long. I mean, how many times can you forgive someone for cheating before people start questioning the whole thing? Let's talk about the cheating. Kirk has been caught stepping out on Rasheeda multiple times, and she keeps taking him back. He even had a child with another woman during their marriage. If that's not a deal breaker, I don't know what is. And the way Rasheeda gets mad at the other women? Girl, your man is the problem. Here's the thing. If someone keeps cheating and you keep forgiving them, they're not gonna stop. Why would they? They know you'll take them back. At that point, checking his phone or trying to catch him in the act just becomes pointless. You already know what's going on. So why stay? I get that marriage is different. It's not as easy to walk away as it might be in a dating relationship. But even in marriage, there's a limit. Forgiving someone once, maybe even twice, is understandable. But if it happens over and over again, it's time to pick up your dignity and leave. No one deserves to be treated like that. Now, I have to give credit where it's due. Rasheeda is one strong woman. The fact that she has stayed and dealt with all of this makes her stronger than I could ever be. She's like a modern-day saint or something. But strength doesn't mean you have to tolerate disrespect. Being strong also means knowing when to walk away. Kirk, on the other hand, seems to think this is normal. He talks about ups and downs in relationships, like having an outside baby is just a minor bump in the road. Sir, no. That's not a regular up and down. That's betrayal on a whole different level. He also likes to glamorize old school relationships, saying we should look to our grandparents for advice on making a marriage last. But let's be real. A lot of our grandmothers weren't happy in those relationships. Many of them stayed because they didn't feel like they had a choice. They put up with infidelity, outside families, and all kinds of disrespect just to keep the family together. Women today are not trying to go back to that, and honestly, I respect that. It's interesting how some men want to bring back that old school dynamic where the woman sacrifices her happiness just to say she's been married for decades. But what's the point of being married for 20, 30, or even 50 years if you've been miserable for most of it? It's not about the quantity of years, it's about the quality. Some people brag about staying married despite all the cheating and drama, but that's not a flex. That's just surviving, not thriving. Why should anyone look up to a relationship where one person is constantly being disrespected? Now let's get back to Rasheeda. She's clearly invested in this relationship, and I get it, they've built a life together. They have kids, businesses, and years of history. But at what cost? Staying in a relationship like that can really take a toll on your self-esteem. No matter how strong you are, it's hard to feel good about yourself when your partner keeps betraying you. And let's not forget how Kirk tries to blame the women he cheats with. He's been caught saying things like, "She knew I was married." Sir, you knew you were married. The responsibility